10 challenges world loser. I'm just going to start this game and just cross my fingers and hope everything goes well. World loser 5+3. I'm going to play my main repertoire. Keep seeing intermittent reconnecting. Well, that's different. I haven't seen that, to be honest with you. It looked like lichess was down and it's back. For a second there was a reconnecting, but very, very temporarily. I think the lichess issues are behind us, and knight d7. Alright, dude. We could play e4 here. That'd be cool. Well, I mean, you want to play reverse Peerts, or do you want to play some kind of queen pawn game? I can also play c4, I would imagine here. c4 looks pretty dynamic. Dynamical. Let's be dynamical. Actually, it just occurred to me. This is possible now. What would Aronian do? How does he regain the pawn? Queen a4, knight a3. We're going to keep it simple since it's a 5+3 game. Five plus three, my theoretical knowledge here is pretty lacking. We're a loser with the funkadelic opening move order. Guys, we have 9 challenges. It's Fast Friday. We're going to keep it 5+3 every game, unrated. World Loser's up to 2,200. Of course, I'm used to seeing his classical rating, I guess. There's a good chance this will transpose to some kind of mainline, as they call Neo-Catalan. I had this game with Ivan Farago, a quick draw, in the last GM tournament I played. I mean, it's pretty much a mainline. Sometimes people, not the exact move order, but it was pretty much the same thing, effectively. Sometimes people play, like, a4, but I don't really like that. I mean, it seems like it weakens the b4 square here. Guys, check out the game Naiditch, Aronian versus Naiditch. Really awesome game from the Gashimov Memorial. Aronian just brilliant. I think e5's a little over the top. I'm going to say a little risky for black, but I guess it's alright. As you like. Safer to play e6 for black. How is he so fast, you might ask? I don't really know. How the dude can play so quickly. He basically plays all his moves in like 3 seconds. So it's sort of a standard variation, just that he's played e5 instead of e6, which feels more aggressive in a way for black. Okay, now what? I can move fast too. It's basically like a hedgehog with colors reversed. What a historical reference there. Indians versus white dudes. Alright, anyway. Knight d5. Keep him off of b4. So I've been noticing this about World Loser, that when you play this guy, you're never allowed to have more time. It seems like he always has more time than me, no matter what the situation. Now I don't know if that's like because he's bothered by like having less time, or I have noticed that with other players that they like can't accept having less time, so they always have to, or they're afraid to have less time, so they always have to have more time. If it's like a defense mechanism, possibly, or he's intentionally, just trying to win on time. It's kind of weird. All right, let's just trade some pieces here. I think the position is objectively equal. I mean, I think his bullet rating would be like 2300 or something if he could play this fast. It's kind of weird. I could have played 94. Maybe that's simpler. I guess that's what I'm not... Why is World Loser not 2300 in bullet if he can move this fast? Does he berserk a lot of bullet games? I guess people who play tons of bullet tournaments here, they're berserking. They tend to like have ratings that are lower than they would be if they didn't do that constantly. I don't know, the whole berserk thing in tournaments. They should have other kinds of tournaments on lichess, not just this one format about like arena tournaments with berserking or not. I mean, it's a cool format. I like it. It's really cool, but I still think there should be other formats for tournaments. When will spring arrive? That is the real question. Dude, we had spring in like the middle of March. I mean, it's very strange, the weather here. Like three weeks ago it was like summer, and now it's like freezing again, so it's just completely random. Actually it's pretty normal for spring now. We've had every extreme: snow, summer like weather for 2 weeks. World Loser let me get ahead on time, which is very strange. I think he must be disconnected. Your internet is weak. I cannot play bullet well because of the internet. That's what Constant Change says as well. I guess, well, it's all relative, right? Of course, there are different forms of bullet. I mean, there's a big difference between like 2-0 and 1-0 or 30 seconds. I think you do well in the longer bullet, let's say. Maybe you're not good at mouse clicking with like 1 second each. Neither am I. When I play like 2-0, when I used to play 2-0 in the old days, my game was basically relying on always keeping like more than 20 seconds. I didn't really like mouse clicking with under 2 seconds type of situations. Oh man, do we have anything here? Not really. He's just super solid in this position. Could play e4 actually. It's kind of weakening though. But I am putting my pawns on the correct color on the positive side. No space. I have absolutely not enough space for my pieces. I know what I should do, but I don't really like it. Actually, yeah, maybe a4 here. Trying to get the white squares. Take, rook a8. Rook a8, yeah, that's correct. It would be A1. It would be the square I was referring to. Scaleaf is being sarcastic. Yeah, it's difficult to pull off more than one format. It's a lot to ask, really. Yeah, I mean, so what's up now? You got some tricks for me? No, that's hanging. I didn't even realize. I'm not slow rolling you, but I saw it a minute ago and then I forgot. Now I saw it. Yeah, I was starting to think about absurd things like C4 for black. Alright, world loser. I think you were better in this game. Like, after the opening. Is this theory? Of course. Some secret variation. Black's already better, according to the computer. E4. E4 in this position. Playing it like it's this sort of weird, disturbed. Man, E4 is a Queen's Gambit accepted with G3 just randomly played. That's just stupid. Queen A4 here. All theory. It's man, why is this so slow? Where did I see a game? It's Bachmann versus Nabati, 2015. Schmidt deal. He plays here. Eckhard Schmidt deal. German Grandmaster. Okay, LB's up next. First time I played against LB. Vasham Chess said, what? Good morning, everyone. The first time in a while I've come to my stream. Yeah, we had a little technical problems today. A little bit of technical problems. By the way, I think it was a hoax. I'm glad I didn't run downstairs during my stream to answer the door. There's no paper from the postman or postwoman. So I think we definitely evaded the old lady from the Jehovah's Witness. Very, very fortunate I didn't stop the stream and run downstairs. But or some other person probably trying to hand out advertisements or something. LB's, but we did have problems with lichess going down. He's playing the Smith Mora. Maybe I should have declined it with like knight f6 and played. I've been thinking about learning, really, really deeply the lines with knight f6 against the c3 Sicilian. There was a time when I was playing it, but I never really committed to it and committed to learning it like deeply for black. And that's one good way to avoid the Smith Mora. Just force them to transpose to the c3 Sicilian. I mean, I don't mind the black side of the Smith Mora, but it would be nice to, have kind of a little bit of variation in what we play. I just realized he played Queen E2 early, but that's okay, Like, is there a better move for me instead of knight f6 here? Probably not. Normally white's castling. So this is a bit odd. This early Queen E2 followed by bishop f4. Strange order of moves. Watch for early e5, eh? Well, obviously the dude's like putting everything he has on pushing e5, but he doesn't have rook d1. I've been known to walk into some kind of weird traps before. I mean, fundamentally everything's correct until, Queen e2 and bishop f4, and I don't know. If he were castled, this would be standard position, I guess. Although even there, white would normally have rook d1 in. So Wesley, there's this issue with knight d4 now. Knight d4. Bishop takes f7 check. King takes f7. Queen c4 check. With unclear play. So I think we're just going to take this guy off. Keep it simple. Guy or girl, however you want to. I don't mean to be a sexist chess analyst. It might be a female knight, I'm not really sure. I don't know how to tell the sex of knights, but just be on the safe side. Alright, e6 and knight e5 is obviously protecting against that possibility. Black looks pretty solid here. You know, he's kind of got the standard sort of situation where he doesn't really have quite enough compensation, it looks like. He can almost transpose to a line I've had before here. Castles. Black seems out of the woods there. If rook d1, queen b8, which is my usual recipe. So now he can transpose. Okay. This is the trick. But it's not a transposition. It's just like a queen b8, there. That's actually good for me. Okay. I don't know. Queen b8 is safer than queen c7 because the queen on c7 has a tendency to get hit by like rook c1 and knight d5. Sham piece sacrifices that just like structurally leave black worse. Could have played e5 instead of queen e2. Yeah, but I mean the problem is that e5 trades off his strong point in the center, you know. Oftentimes it's not good. Sometimes it's good. But sometimes it's just like, you know, blowing his only kind of advantage in the position. I mean, it's not necessarily good to play e5 when you're white in the Sicilian. Oftentimes you're just kind of giving away your central advantage. So now for our next trick, it looks like we get a better endgame. Knight h5, bishop takes d6, knight takes g3, bishop takes b8. I mean, that's at the very minimum. There is no other move. I think that truly, like, the Mora Gambit is probably like equal for white when played correctly. I don't see any benefit in bishop takes d6, queen takes d6, right? I have to take this. And his structure is all messed up, you know. It's not really, well, maybe we can win a pawn here, actually. I didn't anticipate this. I mean, I didn't bother to analyze this far, but knight takes e4 feels a little bit greedy. Knight takes e4. Knight takes e4, rook takes b8. I mean, he's only down a pawn there, has a little bit of comp. Whereas if I play it the other way, this opposite color bishop position, I think I prefer this to being up a kind of, maybe being up a pawn where he has counterplay. I have a really good e5 square, attacking chances, opposite color bishop position, where my bishop's probably better than his bishop. He has a weak pawn, another doubled pawn. So this looks promising for black. h5 is interesting. h5 is nice, but it's a little slow. And it would be nice to freeze his doubled pawns if I had time. But I think, first of all, we need to sort out getting the rest of our pieces developed. This puts the bishop on a great diagonal. We could have knight versus bishop endings that are very good for me with a knight on e5. And I want to put my king on e7, center of the board. Black is just better here. I mean, maybe around here, playing h5 now. It looks like he's sidestepping a check or something with the king move, but not really sure. Which piece do I want to put on this square here? They're fighting for e5. Yeah, that's the problem with good squares. Sometimes like multiple pieces want to use it. I don't know, man. It looks like white's in trouble. Still no immediate win, though. So I wouldn't mind trading one set of rooks here, but not both. So we can't do some kind of invasion on the 7th rank with doubling rooks. I wanted to play what now? Knight a5. I wanted to play rook h6, rook f6, but he always had rook d3 and just could transfer rook d3, rook f3 guarding his king. Looks like we can... Oh no, he found a defense to that. That's ridiculous. Oh my god. I totally missed this move. Wow. Alright. He's going to defend this? Brother, I thought I was just winning. He finds b3. Still black's clearly better, but it's difficult to actually win. First time I've played this player. Don't know anything about him. So he looks like a new account. He has just enough games. I required people to play 51 games. He's played exactly... Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with this, really. How am I making progress? I'm not making progress, right? That's the issue here. Man, he saw that too. h4. Maybe I should just play g6. Is like my rook getting trapped around here? This is a really strange game. I mean, I have h4 now. A totally bizarre game. All right, we had the positional advantage there all the way. I don't know. Maybe he wow, Matthias Roeder played Queen A5 here. I don't like that move, dude. That's just kind of weird. The computer finds Queen B6. What's wrong with my move? Oh, Bishop E2 transposes to theory. Maybe Bishop E2 castles Queen G3. Yeah, I've been here before. Holy crap. I thought this was a transposition. No. I guess not. It's very similar to a position I've had once before. But if Bishop H6, I can play Knight E8. Is that the idea? Or just Knight G6? Okay. Anyway, looks like Black's a little bit better. I've got a long list of challenges today, guys. Yeah. Mule Skinner, tough player. Particularly when he's white, you know, he's gonna force me into kind of closed positions. Let's see if he's here. If anybody's not here, we'll just move on to the next challenger. There's tons of challengers here. Gladys, don't talk smack about people who aren't here. It's not nice. All right, E4, C6, Caro-Kann. Yeah, actually, we've had some good Caro-Kanns. He plays. Well, does he play the Panov straight up, or did I get those positions with the Scandinavian by transposition? I don't remember now. I guess he does play the Panov. The Panov. I don't know. He can play other stuff, maybe. It's a kind of strange choice, Mule Skinner. I would think you would play E5, you know, being like Mr. Closed position. I would think that would suit your style better. Alright. We have had some Tarash type of games with Mule Skinner. I think that G6 is a kind of risky system for Black. But if you must play for a win as Black in the Caro-Kann Panov, we have to take some kind of gamble. There was a rated challenge in my list. Uh-oh. Yeah, Alios, this is a new player. Alios, if you could re-challenge me. Alios, re-challenge to unrated, please. What happened? I failed to click it. I'm good with clicking. Mule Skinner is thinking here? Or are we back in lichess down mode? We had a little loss of the stream there. Earlier, we had to restart the stream a couple times. Once because lichess crashed, and once because we had some dropped frames. So right after the restart. But it's been all good since then. When I go to put this on my YouTube channel, I know I'm going to have to like post 2 videos, I guess. Bishop C4. Well, yeah, we had some gains in this. Okay, so the really theoretical move, I guess, is Queen B3, but it sort of transposes. However, we could also play E6 here. Fabiano has played this with Black. I probably played it first, though. I'm a trendsetter. Trendsetter against the C3 Sicilian and the Panov Botvinnik. Then I quit chess and nobody credits me. I didn't invent this. I've noticed some interesting games with E6. E6, Bishop G5, Bishop E7, Bishop H6, Bishop F8, Bishop G5, Bishop H6, Bishop F8. That's interesting, huh? Anyway, let's just play. Wow, he insta-takes. So actually, Mule Skinner, you know, for your info, Queen B3 is the move, you know, is the big move. But he insists on playing this, which is not as dangerous for Black. do a little investigation on queen b3 and get back to me next time, Mule Skinner. That's the critical line. I mean, I think this is okay for black. We have had games here that were interesting, but there's no doubt in my mind that queen b3 is better. I like to play with Mule Skinner in tactical positions because he's such a good player in closed positions. If I can get an open game, even the slightly worse side of it like this, I'm at least comfortable. I feel like I can breathe, like there's some air for my pieces to move around, some tactics, some calculation involved. A lot of people have trouble with tactics, but I actually feel like tactics are easier than the positional side of the game. I can calculate tactics much faster than evaluating strategic plans. So it looks like he wants to play a4 bishop a3, and have the bishop like behind the pawn, so to speak. e5's risky undertaking for black. There's always bishop g4. Bishop g4 doesn't feel right here. Kind of a cheapo from the, I borrowed from the center counter with knight f6. Alright, man. What else can we do? Knight a5 is possible. This is another point of, a4 allows for bishop a2, so he can retreat the bishop back to a2 in the event of knight a5. Very important feature here of this position. Well, all right. I'm going to go for a trick. This might equalize. Oh, man. All right, I don't know. I've never played this in this exact position, but it makes sense to me. Sound effects, please. Boom. That should resolve his central pawns, at least. It's not that big a deal, you know, actually, but I think this equalizes for black. Destroying the centrum. This is a tactic from the knight f6 Scandinavian, one of the key lines in that. I always love to play it. The structure is very, very similar. I mean, it's identical. What's the difference, really? It could be a knight f6 Scandinavian, this position, basically. There's some lines that transpose practically directly. Thank you for the graphic emote there. Yeah, I mean, I think queen takes b7 might be the best. I didn't really see anything better. So, Wesley, what's up now? I guess rook c8 was my follow-up. I don't really see anything better. I mean, do we have some weird move like rook b8 and knight c2 or something? If my knight ever goes to c2, it's not really getting out. So that's anyway, we're very short of time here. I'm gonna guess the evaluation is around equal objectively. We did mobilize our queen side. Very possible I missed something better, but I don't know. Rook b8. I'm not sure what it does, you know, if I go rook b8. Knight c2, rook a2 is coming in. There's some weird lines here, like bishop takes f7, rook takes f7, pawn takes d4, bishop takes d4. It looks about equal to me. If I'm white, I play rook d1. In which position? After knight takes d4? No, the queen's hanging. I don't know when he's talking about now. In this position, rook d1? Nah, can't be talking about this position. Okay, so bishop takes f7, rook takes f7. There's some lateral pressure on his queen, and the f2 pawn is under attack. So when I said the position's equal, I was basically talking about some position, something like this. Unless I have some tactic. I might have a tactic here. Wow. What's up with the c1 bit? So rook a2, bishop takes f2 check, rook takes f2, rook takes f2, king takes f2, queen d4 check. Yeah, he's reticent to play rook a2 because of the c1 bishop. What's going on here? Well, we have tactics on f2, right? But how do I do it without dropping my rook on c8 in some lines, for example? Does he have a trick somewhere? I don't know. I mean, my king's a little bit open, so I have to be kind of careful too. Maybe I missed something better. Problem is my rook hanging on c8 ties my queen down. Looks like a logical move. Mobilizing. Forgot to take. He just... I think that white's okay here. It's like equal. Rook takes f2, bishop takes f2, king h1. Equal. Peter thinks black's better, I guess. His king is more endangered than mine, but it's not really serious. Yeah, this is just equalizing. Computer even thinks rook c8 might be better than knight takes d4. Huh. Flashy tactic. Wow, c takes d4, queen takes d4. Okay, that's another way to do it. This is a transposition? No. So you can force my queen to d4. Then take here. Wow, this would be weird. And the engine doesn't want to take the two rooks because the a pawn's too dangerous. It's possible that knight takes d4 is actually not quite the best move. Better to just develop with rook c8. But I think in that case white has a small advantage, no? Okay, black's very solid here. Okay, so this is another way to play. Hard to say. Anyway, I didn't really deserve to win there. I think a draw would be a fair result. A correct result. He just dropped the rook. Mastermind 14. We've been playing knight f3 every game. So let's play some e4. Guys, we're streaming till 12:30. And I'm going to be uploading a new YouTube video today on my YouTube channel. A little bit later in the afternoon. Video chess training on YouTube. please don't forget to like and subscribe over there, and if you can support the stream with a donation via PayPal, it is much appreciated, either here on Twitch or via YouTube. Thank you to those of you who have donated. We had several donations in the past couple of weeks. Bishop a4. I don't really play the exchange variation against the Lopez. Don't like it. It's playable, but... Alright. So, no Berlin defense. Thank you for that. Pinning the knight to the queen. So the last game we won, but it was really a draw in spirit. Mastermind 14 playing the main line, Lopez. I haven't had anybody play the Berlin defense against me lately, or try to, which is kind of weird. I guess the Berlin defense is only really popular with like super grandmasters. Otherwise it's like boring for the rest of the chess world. Though, for example, like Tony Miles in the 90s was playing that opening for a win as black. I remember Grandmaster Alex Scherzer playing it for black too, you know, in the late 80s, early 90s. D4 is seeing something of a renaissance lately. I've seen a lot of games with D4. Of course, H3 is the main line. 11 blunders. Really? I don't think so. Like 11 mistakes or something. Somebody I played D3 against last week, and I don't remember who it was. Let's try it again. I'm a little bored with these long lines of the Chigorin that are like 30 moves of analysis. Knight A5, speaking of renaissances, I mean, this move... When I started learning chess in the 90s, in the 80s, late 80s, and early 90s, I mean, nobody played the Chigorin variation anymore. Karpov had really put a lot of work in Bishop B7, Knight B8, and then for some reason this old school move Knight A5 is all the fashion nowadays again. I think that this like trend though, you know, it's just about trends. It doesn't mean like one move is necessarily better than the other. It's just fashion. One player plays it and then everyone starts to copy them. There's not really any necessary like deep rationale, but between playing Knight A5 or... I do think that Knight A5, I mean, to me feels a little more passive than some of the other lines, but maybe I'm biased because it was always considered that way by the books. MYS1224, 11 cent pawn lost for me. I didn't make any mistakes. But that's debatable, you know. There's a question whether knight takes d4 was really even the best move for me. He stopped bishop g5, which is kind of one of my schemes in this line. White wants to play for control of d5 generally. Mastermind 14. I don't remember if it was you I played this line with. We can look at our old games. I did lose a game. Yeah, I guess it was him. Okay, so this was the dude I played against it last time. Okay. Last week, we had a game in the same variation. Now I see. Okay. No, he's playing very classically. Well, it's not a lot of games for this account. I guess d4 is possible. The delayed d4. Knight e3, knight g3. I think I lost on time last week. Probably my move a3 is not right here. I should maybe play d4 or something more active. Knight g3. I'm suspicious of a3. Well, now basically we're just going to have to play chess. I was actually thinking of bishop b3, but forget it. I don't think the trading pieces is really right here. So he went back, researched the position, and came up with the move h6. After last week's game where he played something else and I played bishop g5. I think last week he played bishop f8 and I played bishop g5, or something like queen c7, I don't remember. But h6 looks like an improvement, although it does weaken the king side. White's position is pretty harmless, I think. Queen d7, a very central type of setup for black. And we are transferring to the king side. Queen f3. But again, a3 not really necessary here. I think I wasted time with that move. I don't have a lot of expertise in this line. Or experience. I just kind of fool around with d3. It feels like black is played slightly passively with bishop f8. You know, he could have played d5 there. I mean, that looks like thematic for black to play d5 here, you know. Now I'm threatening bishop takes h6, so he doesn't have time for for d5. And I think his position is still okay, but it would have been much more aggressive to play like that. d5 is the point, more or less. No need to move the bishop, exactly. He should play d5. Black has a good game. I'm set up like it's like a bishop's opening or something. Joko piano. Okay. This is some sort of trick or something. Bishop takes h6. I don't understand. Alright. As long as my queen doesn't get trapped, I'm cool with taking this pawn. I mean, I was expecting probably something like knight h7 here. It's a little passive, but I guess playable for black. But he really missed d5. I mean, this is just good for black here. I think that black is better. Probably d5, queen f3, d4. And black is better. It's like a whirl attack or something. I don't want to waste too much time now, as usual. I can't really say, you know, okay, he has a little bit of compensation in this position. I mean, his central control is so good. Yeah, right, bishop e7, so you have to kind of admit he still, even though he's a pawn down, he has some kind of slight justification. Should I retreat? I don't know. I don't really want to trade the dark squared bishop off, to be honest. And h4 defending my bishop on g5 looks really weakening, so I just bailed out and played this lame move, bishop c1. Probably I should have connected my rooks or something first, rook d1. But black has compensation. Now knight f5. Not really sure. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Black has compensation. Knight h5 doesn't look right. I just saw knight f5, bishop takes f5, pawn takes f5, e4, pawn takes e4, and then I thought he was standing better there. Guess I'm losing material now. Wow. I should have played rook on a to d1 a long time ago, basically. Black loses on time. Man, I thought I was clearly worse, but apparently I'm not lost. I thought I was almost lost here. Wow. He has like full compensation for the pawn. Okay, massive list of challenges. So I think d5. I'm surprised that wasn't worse. After d5, black is good. Just totally equalizes. a3 was a bad move. I'm surprised. Yeah, there's a lot of games here, but nobody plays a3. Knight g3 is the main line. Okay, that's what I thought. So king chaser. Guys, if you don't have like 50 games and some sort of established rating, I'm not going to accept the challenges. Just so you know. King chaser, he's sometimes here and sometimes he's not here. We have to cancel the game. So Bernard is like a provisional. I'm not going to accept that. And then it's Ananas, Alligator, Liberian, Troll in a Roll, etc. King Chaser, let's give him like 30 seconds. If he doesn't show up, he doesn't show up, and we'll move on to the next game. The last game was bad. A3 was just bad. It was just way too slow. You know, after d5, he's got a good game. But I don't think that white has an advantage anyway, objectively. A d3 in against the Chigorin is probably a little bit too quiet for white to get any kind of serious edge. Kevin 7 Elway explained why bishop takes h6 works, because after bishop takes h6, g takes h6, queen takes f6, I'm taking his knight. So I'm not sacrificing a piece, I'm just winning a pawn. If he captures, I'm going to just capture his knight on f6. Alright, King Chaser's not here. And he's got other business. So Ananas, got tons of challenges, guys. We're going to play till 12:30, so we got another hour, which means like at least 6 more games or so. Ananas, what am I going to do with you, dude? Let's try something different against Ananas. Secret weapons. What was my idea? Oh yeah, I remember now. I found a game I played like 8 years ago. I used to do this on a regular basis. It might actually be better than the regular. It's probably better than the regular. What's it called? St. George. And Ananias just doesn't care. He just plays knight f3. He doesn't even think about it for a minute. He's like, oh yeah, that's a normal move. I'm just gonna play knight f3. Yeah, that's just standard. Okay, he's not surprised at all. b5 is b5 is probably not that good if white hasn't played e4 yet, I want to say. This is actually played a lot by certain players. Dmitry Gurevich, Lev Albert, Gingiashvili. A whole like generation of Soviet immigrant grandmasters came to the United States and started sharing their opening ideas, I guess, or stealing them from each other. Dmitry and Lev and Roman. But all playing a lot of like knight f6, a6. There was even a book called the Gingi Indian. Knight f6 and a6. But anyway, we get in b5. I'm not a big authority, as I am not in most openings, but I've been wanting to like incorporate this into my repertoire, and now it's getting interesting. I think that I might have had a game here with someone in this, but according to the theory, I think that black is fine after b takes c, if I remember my studies. Yeah, ananas is a joke. Right. What happened? Oh, you didn't play 95. Okay. So white is just a pawn down? It's kind of funky. .95 here. So it's a pawn sack, like long-term pawn sack. I remember some lines where black actually allows knight takes c4 when I was analyzing with the engine. And it's possible it might be in my best interest not to be too greedy here and let him have his pawn back. You know, attack his center with like c4, c5 or something. Let's try it, you know. We can have some fun with this. I don't like being greedy, you know. But this is experimental. I haven't played this line before. I'm not sure what the database recommended. This is not the move order I analyzed. Similar position with something slightly different. I think there was something with queen a4 check actually played in a line I looked at. But anyway, knight a5 is not possible, but queen a4 check, and if I play bishop d7, knight back to e5, that doesn't look really dangerous or anything. I feel like black should have a good game here. Just like natural development. Queen a4, bishop d7, obviously. And knight on c4 is kind of awkward. I can't take it, but it's going to have to move eventually. And it doesn't really have a great path. I mean, if he goes to e5, I'm trading. I have a strong center. I mean, if he goes to e5 here, I'm probably taking on d4, actually. I don't think he can play that right away. Rook a7 was okay according to World Loser. Rook a7 is a funky idea, and I've used it in other lines. It may well be good. Like right away. But it's not a developing move. I mean, maybe it is. You could look at it as a developing move. Rook a7 is probably fine as well. Okay, anyway. Let's resolve some of this tension in the situation here. It's like a demented Catalan where white's losing a pawn. Or sacrifice, sorry. The word is sacrifice, right? It's like a Grunfeld. Knight takes d4, e4 type of stuff with the classic kind of compensation. I guess we'll just equalize. I don't know. We'll settle for equality here. Knight takes d4, e4 looks like it gives white a lot of play. If I try to win a pawn there. I'm settling for an equal game. You what? My name is what? What is going on? Okay, that's just strange. I guess he's intentionally trying to sacrifice a pawn here. You could take either way with a knight, though. With a knight? Maybe I should take with a knight. Taking away the b6 and c5 squares denies him counterplay. My first inclination was to play queen takes, but then he's going knight a4 and in these squares, so we play knight takes. Alright. I'm not really buying this, dude. It's very inspirational, but I have to be a skeptic. That is a whole piece you sacrificed. He's playing for the Brilliancy Prize here. What's that? I think he had to like retreat his bishop there. He can't keep this protected. Well, I don't know what I wanted him to play. Like bishop g2. I know that it seems like a... Or even e4. He could play some kind of e4. This is interesting. I mean, maybe he still has compensation. Now he's 2 pieces down. My God. I'm playing Veselin. I've got g5 covered, so there's no bishop g5, Veselin. Alright? Don't try bishop g5. Totally berserk. All right. Queen takes pawn. I mean, up 2 pieces up for 4 pawns. Why does Ananas have no rating? No blitz rating. Yeah, I saw that. Everyone in the room saw that except for you. That's what Alexander Ivanov said to me when I tragically blundered against Lembit. Oh, if you want to make someone feel good, don't forget to tell your friends that after they overlook something brutal. Yes, Bill, everyone in the room saw it except for you. Yeah, this is gonna be game over eventually for someone. He did resign here, but he's only 2 pieces down. We usually have a good game with Ananas, or the artist, sometimes known as Ananas. Right, so I looked at this Queen A4 here, which is apparently played, but it's unclear. Castles is a new move, which completely makes sense. Then D5, wow. Really interesting. Leonid Yudasin, my buddy. All right. He's a good guy. Knight C3. So Yudasin won against some random guy in 98. This position with black. Wow. All right, guys. Interesting game. Let's see what happened here. It says it was equal. Yeah, but dude, I mean, okay, I mean, knight takes c6 is normal, and it's like you're out of the woods with an equal game here, if you play that, So this was like he was trying to play for the brilliancy prize. Queen takes d7 is okay too. Queen takes d7, knight a4, rook b8. I was glad you did this piece sacrifice though, because it's really pretty cool. I guess objectively unsound, but really interesting. I don't know, perhaps my move order wasn't accurate. What's he supposed to play here? E4. Yeah, this is unclear, dude, and it's very tricky to play in a fast time control. Thank you for the game. Halligator. I'm afraid to play E4 against Halligator. I think he knows theory or something. No, I want to go back to my safety feeling. After that game, I need a little break from wild positions. Sacrificial scariness. I need a cool down period for radioactive chess. Right. So there are a lot of different move orders doing this London system stuff. Usually they play c6 early on. You didn't notice there's a bar for comp evaluation to the left of the moves in analysis mode. Probably I played this against Alligator before, but where's he from? We don't really know. I thought Alligator was from France, but I mean that was a long time ago. I can't remember now. I think he had a flag at one time. I'm not sure though. If I take on d5, he takes with a pawn, and I think we had a game in that, it seems to me. Anyway, I'm just analyzing too much for this time control. Yeah, it means pineapple in Hungarian too. Ananas with an SZ. Just in English, it's pineapple. English is the only Latin Latin-based language that doesn't say ananas, I guess. Well, who knows what it is in like Romanian, but he's not playing knight bd7, which is kind of pissing me off. I don't want to exchange on d5 till he plays knight on bd7, basically. I guess we could transpose to a theoretical line I've played before. Queen b3. Queen b3 is kind of wimpy, though. He said, yeah, he's French. I thought so, but you removed your flag a long time ago, so I was kind of like, I don't mean to blow your cover. Queen b3. Obviously, it's not secret if he's saying, yeah, I'm French. I played this opening quite a bit. But Queen b3 and basically trading queens, I feel like it's pretty weak for white. Like, not weak like horrible, but weak like it's not a very masculine, macho way of playing with white. Trading queens, going into endgames, not really getting the most out of the white pieces. Sorry if I sounded sexist there, but you know, the traditional macho style of playing chess where we sacrifice pieces, play very aggressively for mate, you know, I mean, Queen b3 is, it's not, I don't feel really proud of playing that move, you know, typically. Alright, right, this is, h6 is really slow for black, though. Romanian is Latin-based. Dude, I know that. That's why I said, that's why the comment was interesting. That's why I mentioned Romanian, dude. Romanian is the closest to Latin of any language. But thank you for the information, troll. I've been to Romania many times. I have quite a close relationship with Romania. Queen takes b3. I think you misunderstood my comment. Queen takes b3, a6, and he's weakening his queen side. If they kicked me out, I mean, if Hungarian government had stopped online poker, I was actually planning to move to Romania. But never had to happen. Let's see. a6. Romania. Gladys Troll's explaining to me that Romania is a Latin-based language. I do have a college degree, believe it or not. A high school degree would be enough to know that. Knight bd7. Let's see. Yeah, this is the kind of position I just don't really like. We don't have much here. Alright. Morozevich. Occasionally catch Morozevich playing this kind of line with white. What are we gonna do? Knight d4. Yeah, I kind of like this. I want to get my pieces forked with like c5 and d4. I've definitely done this routine before, but we're getting really low on time. I mean, Alligator has 4 minutes to 1. Bishop h7. So he is threatening to win a piece, and I was going to hang out here with knight c2. Does that seem reasonable? Passive a little bit. I would like to play f4, but I'm going to get my pieces forked. Okay. So we're just going to kind of lurk here on c2, all hyper-modern style. Maybe supporting, controlling b4, support of b4, b5. As I mentioned earlier, I didn't like this possibility of popping in there at some point. Have seen players play f4 in this type of structures to kind of hold black up, but I think I'd need to play h3 to do that. Saji in chat, do you know why French people eat snails? Because they don't like fast foods. I had escargot once. It wasn't bad. Bishop c5. Well, it's not exactly the most exciting position known to man here. Black's very solid. You know, I don't expect to get an edge when I play this opening. Alligator has some experience, obviously. He didn't play like the most aggressive version of the London system, but he's got a very solid repertoire going on here. You can sack a piece for 3 pawns. Knight takes d3. Alright, what are we doing? Gone queenside. Maybe we have something. A little something. 41 seconds. Threatening b4, b5. Okay, the knight on c5 is going to have to go away. It's going to be leaving soon. And his bishop on h7, you know, you can argue that it's a dead piece. Then again, my bishop is a dead piece too, so that cuts both ways. Get it? Like bishops cutting both ways. If we're going to have stupid puns. Anonymous Network said, who knows the most languages? Right. Well, I'm definitely, you know, the winner then, because I'm like, I have Russian the level of like a 1-year-old, and I speak Hungarian like a 6-year-old. So, and Spanish like a 5-year-old. Let's see. What am I doing? I've got no plan, and I'm running out of time. That's pretty irritating, to be honest. Don't like having no plan and running out of time. What am I doing, man? He's got 2 minutes, and I've got none. This is pissing me off. I can't play d4 because of d takes c, and I don't want to take on d5. So I revert to playing this stupid move h3 because I'm about to flag. Man, maybe this is our lucky break. Or not. I don't know, man. I don't like c5 too much. You sort of tricked me into playing that against my will. Am I threatening something? Could be. Could have something here, b5. He never did move his rook, which is kind of weird. Well, I don't think I have an advantage. I think I'm living in a fantasy world here. Did play e5. Whew, I was about to flag. Knight e1, man. I'm so happy about that. What a great move. What a great square for the knight. Black is slightly better, and I'm kind of struggling to find legal moves that don't lose material. Although, I don't know, this move I'm kind of happy about. You know, he's sort of given some squares to get some squares. I can protect b4. Oh, I didn't expect that. Where's he going now? Just keeps me guessing constantly. I have no idea what he's going to do. I thought he was going to play one thing, then he changes plans on me. I have no idea what's going on here. Black's a little better. This is just strange position. Black is better now. The knight on b5 is really irritating. My rooks are stuffed. Alright, man. I mean, I am done with doubled rooks on the A file. We're going to just play chess. This is a very risky move by me. But I'm feeling kind of desperate. Just in case things start to open up there. Both sides getting confused as to what the hell is going on here. Maybe I should have played a different move there. Navigator going into panic mode before I did. Still not certain what the heck is going on here. It's just as it degenerated into a really freaky blitz game. I guess I should take this guy before he does any more damage. And suddenly we're better. Suddenly. Threatening something? Am I threatening anything? Oh. Oh no. Oh no. It's a horrible move. G4. Oh yeah. It's falling apart. One more check just for a good measure. E4. Oh no. Alright, probably better to take this way, not let any really funky stuff happen. Alright, we'll keep it simple. Keep all the important pawns. Got everybody guarded. I should have played probably b5 there. Well, 3 should do it. My technique is unbelievable. As usual, I sort of slimed Navigator. He always has a decent position out of the first part of the game and kind of gets... Uh-oh, site update in progress. Now it's going to look bad. See, that's his French connection. He talked to the administrators and they... Now it's going to show up... Now it's going to show up as a as an aborted game. It's not going to count as a win. It's conspiracy. Alligator. Maybe he's not back. Oh no. See? It was a conspiracy. I knew it. French conspiracy. He worked it out with the administrators. He's like, oh man, I need it. I need this game to be aborted. So, can you set it up? It's over. Game aborted. Of course. Oh no. Isn't that convenient? How come that never happens for me? But seriously, he was better. White just doesn't have an advantage here. Timur Rajabov against Boris Grachev. Radulov lost to Dreyev. Well, Jukic, the young Jukic, or is that another Jukic? Okay, there's nobody special here except for Rajabov playing my move, knight d4. Who is that? Nobody. Yeah, it's no advantage, man, for me. This is just equal. Alright, if you guys want to send me a message while I'm playing, send it on the Twitch stream. Do you solve tactics on chess tempo? No. I'm more into the old school, like tactics. I have some good tactics combination books by Maxime Bloch, and actually I would recommend the program CTR. I don't know if that's still in existence, but I don't do a lot of chess tactics though, just sometimes when I feel like I need a little bit of... Let's play the Grunfeld. I've been thinking about it all my life, basically. I played the Grunfeld up until I was about 1900, and then started to find the going kind of tough and gave it up. And then later, started playing it again, very briefly, and then gave it up again. It's kind of like smoking. Playing the Grunfeld is very, very similar to smoking for me. Okay, knight a5, and Bobby Fisher 2 says, thanks for the game, I'm really bad in time pressure. Bobby Fisher 2, are you Alligator? So here we are, in... I don't know if I've ever played the Grunfeld in a stream. I mean, it's good for me. This opening should be good for me because basically I like open tactical positions. I have no idea where the theory is here. But I guess Liberian knows. I think this is theory, but I'm not 100% sure. So that's the problem with the Grunfeld. Like, everybody knows 800 moves of theory. I can't leave this pawn hanging on c5 forever. Take b5, d5. He's used like 0 time. e6 is definitely a typical kind of move, I think. typical kind of move. That doesn't really, you know, mean it's good, but like, let me give you an example. I was thinking about c takes d, b5, but I didn't like white playing d5 there. This really strong passed pawn. Okay, now the Liberian takes. Well, whenever they take, they're severing their pawn structure in pieces, and I mean, there should be, my experience, mostly there's usually good ways for black to get some counterplay. Bishop a4, queen takes a4, queen takes d3, queen takes a5, for example. It's pretty interesting, but I'm not sure it's good. I like how I played the Grunfeld for the first time in like 15 years, and the first player I play is like, he knows 15 moves of theory in the main line. Where is my counterplay, right? Yeah, it feels like this is bad for me. This is bad for me. Yes. Feels bad. Feels bad, man. Right? Yeah, he's like an expert on the white side of the Grunfeld. What are the chances, right? What are the chances my opponent is an expert on the white side of the Grunfeld? Playing like the main line. I feel like I'm playing the Nimzo Indian or something. This is less fun than the Nimzo Indian. I can't get my pawn back. It's like an f3 Nimzo, which I hate. These variations of the f3 Nimzo, where you can't get your pawn back. Got rook b6 in some positions. Instantly. c6, but it's a big but. I do have b5 only move. a4. Okay, now it's very tricky the way he's playing, but it seems like I should be okay here somehow. Maybe not. I have knight c4. Bishop c4, is that better? Maybe. But he's so fast and strong. This is not really fun first game playing the Grunfeld. Getting tested in a super critical line. Yeah, knight c4, a takes b is the problem. I didn't really like that. Maybe it was good. He's playing this so well. Guys, we have time for one more game after this. It looks like a troll and a roll. I'd love to play more, but Justice Bot is in the challenge list. Justice Bot is kind of fooling around. He knows I'll never be able to play that many games. Should I trade rooks first? We're always going to be a pawn down for the rest of my life. With a bad bishop to boot. But this guy is really strong. And I don't know how I'm 25 and 7.5. You'd think he'd have a better score than that. Really, really unpleasant position for me. Basically, I just hate my position. I'm down a clear pawn. No compensation to speak of. Okay, his extra pawn is blockaded. I know. That's nice. But still, it's just a clear pawn down. It's a lot of fun for black, basically. Okay, we have a little bit of compensation. This knight is not great, and his pawn is isolated and blockaded. I'd still rather be white. He blundered a fork. Wow. And still he's not lost. He can hang the exchange, and he still has a little bit of chances. Grunfeld. That's why I don't play the Grunfeld. See, it's not fun. Everybody knows like 30 moves of theory. And we're suffering most of the game and then get lucky. Alright. Technical exercise now. He had that. Man, this is demented. Still doesn't. Yeah, it does work. That does work. Interference theme. Pawn odds. I don't know. It doesn't make me want to play the Grunfeld anymore. This game. A lot of work to do in the opening. The King's Indian is funnier. I agree, man. Liberian is a tough customer. I got lucky. He hung the exchange in a clear pawn up. I think this is book, though. Until a certain point, when I definitely made some kind of gross inaccuracy. Although, this particular position, it's not very common. Huh. What am I supposed to do? Like CD, bishop e6, and play all that bullshit with the exchange sacrifice? I don't want to do that. We're playing like Alexei Ganguly. 2003. Ganguly 2003. Okay, so this isn't really a very common line. We've got no good customers here with black. Yeah, this is a new move. You're supposed to take on c5 right away, probably. I'm confusing this with a slightly different variation, apparently. I like white here. After takes on c5. Just looks good for white. We transpose to a game, some random game. It's probably like some correspondence game. I just think that, okay, after e5, you're supposed to be clearly better. I don't like this opening for black. This line, I mean, isn't really great. Okay, chess 960. It's troll on a roll. First chess 960 today, and the only one will be today. What are we gonna do? We have the white bits, as they say. Random moves have been called. I hate when my queen is lined up with the bishop on the long diagonal. What are we gonna do about that? This is pretty random. D3. I'm not gonna find that in the opening encyclopedia. Take him out of book, basically. B4. It's the delayed Polish opening. B4, G4. This is my whole concept here. The entire concept of my opening based on this. Thank you very much. Yummy. Delicious. It was delicious. Thank you, Smithers. Alright, queen b2 or queen h4. Probably I should stay in the central locale. H4 looks a little bit off target. Although I could pop in and visit h6 on my way back to d2. Troll is not usually so generous in the early part of the opening. He definitely didn't sacrifice that pawn intentionally. Now I can try to self-mate myself or something. Maybe I'll delay g3. Expand on the queen side a bit before we commit ourselves. G3, knight G5, knight H3 bothered me a little bit. I don't know. I think I'm afraid of ghosts, but it's sort of a silly thing to fear. Black's position is a little bit dubious, being down a pawn so early. The other knight, my other knight, is going to b3 and can go into a5 or c5 or back to d2. Should be good. My other brother knight. Thank you for the free pawn, Troll. It was very generous of you today. You never ever give me material like that. Greek gift. I thought I'd throw that in there since we're having this discussion about Latin-based languages. Greek is not a Latin language, right? Knight b3. Someone is asking hungover. Not me. I did have a beer last night, but one beer does not constitute a hangover. Yeah, you see, he's waiting for me to play g3. He's got this like all worked out where he wants to pounce on the h3 weakness, but I'm not giving him any. I'm not giving him anything to go on, really. No weaknesses. I can castle queenside, man, and just ruin your day completely. There it is. He's all set up. Hyper accelerated. Castles queenside. Good stuff. H4, perhaps? It's actually not a bad move, H4. I think that's viable. It seems a little bit risky, but I don't mind it, actually. Controlling the dark squares where he's weak. Very weak on dark squares here. Queen. And just in case, then I can play g3 and play bishop g2. Not have my h-pawn be paralyzed. It also takes away knight g5. That annoying knight g5. This is a quite normal position for chess 960. Absolutely. Welcome, Arsenal fan. Actually, my queen could just jump into e5, be a really dominant player in this position. The frontal queen. Heavy pieces tend to be, well, actually all pieces tend to be very powerful, like when centralized. He goes c5. All right, man. I think I could play that a lot of different ways. I could also play a3. I could take. This cramps him. It cuts out any kind of bishop c6. Guys, last game for today. We're going to be back on Sunday with a simul here on lichess, 6:30 p.m. It's 25 player simul, 40/40 time control. It lasts about 3 hours from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 for the longest games. Nine more moves to what? What happens at 9 more moves? Oh, then you give up or something? Well, sounds good. We throw in the a4. This is a nice English opening. You have to last more than 9 more moves, Troll. You have to last basically 4 more minutes. Or else we're cutting the stream short. Knight c7, he's getting passive. We're ready with the g3 anytime, sir. Castling queenside is even more tempting now. My king actually feels safe over there. It's Oriash. Excuse me. Oh, I can't. I moved my rook, right? Or did I move my rook? I didn't move my rook. Long castles in the English opening. Not something you see every day. This is a little risky. You know, maybe he does some sort of a piece sack on b5 for 2 pawns. I just didn't believe in Black's position that he could realistically get my king. Where I've got such a space advantage on the queen side, I don't think he can realistically attack my king over there. Well, he can if I play badly, but with correct play. I'm looking for pawn sacrifices. g4. How does it work? It doesn't work. Because I have a kind of... I feel a little bit backward along the d file. He can play like knight e6, knight d4. That gives him some counter chances. I was talking about the centralized queen though, and I think this might be a situation where it's not a bad idea. Although he has f6, damn, he has f6 there. Probably we should win a piece here. Win a piece while the winning is good. Yeah, he saw it. g4, he cut off his own bishop outside the pawn chain. Alright, he's not going to make it to the time control. g4. Yep. So in reality, yeah, he's just down a pawn. He should castle here, according to the engine. Okay, good game troll to a certain degree for Chess 960, but he overlooked his bishop. You have some counterplay. I'm not sure about my decision to castle queenside. It was a little bit extreme. The computer wants to play g4. I'm just so anti-Grob, you know. I didn't want to bring myself to do that, but that really restricts black, admittedly. It looks like a good move. I have almost a 2.0 advantage here in terms of pawn senate pawns after g4, but I didn't have the guts to pull the trigger on g4. I don't think I realized actually that it was protected twice. You could play a5 though. I mean that's more like a5 with the idea of rook a1 opening the a file looks a little more fluid and natural, you know. The g4 is kind of risky. Anyway, guys, we'll be back on Sunday with a simul. Please tune in and participate if you can. I'd like to thank everyone for joining and watching today. We'd like to thank Blue Crow for being our moderator here on the stream. Please check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. Later this afternoon, I'm going to try to upload a video, an instructional video over there. I also upload the streams, so if you miss a stream, want to watch what happened, or check out a stream you played in, check it out on YouTube, Video Chess Training on YouTube. Anyway, thanks for the donations via PayPal, and feel free to drop me one if you enjoyed the stream. Please do so. If not, if you can't afford it, just hang out with us, play some good chess once in a while, and contribute in that way. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back on Sunday with our simul here on lichess, which is starting at 6:30 p.m. CET. Bye bye, guys.